presents the Comcast Daily Herald High School Basketball Game of the Week. This week's matchup, the Larkin Royals take on the Elgin Maroons. Welcome to Chesborough Fieldhouse at Elgin High School in Elgin, Illinois, everyone, as Comcast kicks off its coverage of 2005 high school basketball for you here tonight. Hi again, everyone. I am Perry Williams, joined here tonight by Steve Moga. I hope you all had a fabulous holiday season. And Steve, what a season we will have here in Comcast with high school basketball, boys and girls. But tonight, the boys take center stage. It is an old-fashioned rivalry, the 102nd meeting between Larkin and Elgin.
And a Elgin team that has won this 64 and 37 is the overall record out of those meetings. But you throw the records out in games like this. The team with the worst record sometimes has won this. It doesn't matter. This can make their season. It's bragging rights. It's everything else here in Elgin here tonight.
No question about it. Let's talk about the teams. Some of the key players for both squads in this Upstate 8 non-conference matchup. Let's start with Larkin, a record of 9-5 coming in. And obviously they have won 3 games in a row in this regular season.
Yeah, they've also won 3 times in a row here against their crosstown rivals. Last year they won all 3 meetings, and they're hoping to springboard that into more success here this time.
They have some outstanding juniors on the squad, and Devon Ellis is one of those.
Well, Devon was one of their top scorers last year. He's picked this game up another notch. He's averaging over 17 points per game, quite a few rebounds as well. Does a little bit of everything out there on the floor for this team.
He also has his cousin joining him this year, and ironically a transfer from Elgin last year, and that's Carlos Henderson.
Well, he was a starter as a sophomore last year for the Maroons. He comes over and is the key #2 scorer for Larkin. That's exactly what they were missing from this team, and he's provided that for him here as of late as he's continued to get more comfortable with this team, the system, his teammates. He's starting to gel.
Elgin, great tradition here, a record of 3-10, but they are playing better this year.
Well, they've been inconsistent at times. A young team. They've got freshmen and sophomores playing important roles, and they've only been getting better, as you mentioned, as they go along, and they're going to continue to get better as they continue to get more experience and feel their way through things. And for a lot of these young guys, this will be a good chance in this big rivalry game to finally get in this situation and see how they react.
And one of those young players you talked about is indeed a freshman, and he can really light it up, Armani Williams.
Well, first of all, anybody with the name Armani, hey, he's got vote.
Style. Yeah.
Definitely has style. And the only thing about Armani that is not good for his teammates is that he's the only guy who can really shoot well from the outside, but he has been very successful. He's got 23 threes on the year already. That ties the school record for Sean Harrington, who went to University of Illinois, one of their top players in the history of Maroon basketball. But that ties his record as a freshman. He's made 7 in a game recently. I mean, he's really starting to light it up, and they're going to need him to do that some here tonight.
And you have senior leadership, too, in Jamon Clark.
Yeah, well, as he goes, their team goes. Every time he's played well, the Maroons have done well, and he came along last year. He's really picked his game up a notch as well, and he's kind of like Ellis on the other side of things for his team, as he does a little bit of everything, but he also is a leaper. You see him above the rim a few times here tonight.
Well, a great atmosphere tonight to kick it off for you, and Mark Kruger will be along the sideline to fill in all the action as well, as Comcast kicks off our coverage of high school basketball right after this.
Watching the Comcast Network. Turn to us first.
The Daily Herald covers the big picture with a uniquely local focus. Take our award-winning sports section. Readers turn to the Daily Herald for the authoritative word on sports from preps to pros. Inject the provocative voices of Barry Rosner and Mike Imram, plus the Dean of High School columnist Bob Frisk. And you can understand why the Daily Herald offers Chicagoland's premier sports package. So whether you're looking to read
full sports coverage, turn on Comcast and get in on the game with Sports Weekly. Join Dave Wills and Perry Williams each week for the latest scores and highlights from across Chicagoland. Sports Weekly gets you up close to the top players and the hottest teams in prep sports. So when you want some action, get in on the game with Sports Weekly. Thursday nights at 6:30 here on the Comcast Network. Chicago's leader in high school sports coverage.
Welcome back, everybody. The team's being introduced. So now let's go courtside and hear from Mark Kruger. Mark.
All right, Perry Williams, thank you very much here courtside, and the Elgin Maroons and the Larkin Royals about ready to get set. Talked with both head coaches before the ball game. Larkin's head coach, Joe Kane, he talked about Elgin and how great they are in transition. He said the key to his team is how well they could get back defensively. That's going to be a key. As for Elgin, well, they lost its first 5 games of the season. Coach Rob Brault, he's looking for some home cooking. They lost on Tuesday by 1 to Cary Grove. He hopes that some home court advantage, some home crowd, can get them to have a good game here against the Larkin Royals. Should be a great game. Hey, Perry and Steve, Happy New Year, guys.
Likewise, happy holidays to you, Mark, and Steve as well. And of course, to all our viewers and our family of the Comcast facilities. It's been a great holiday season, but now we're ready for high school sports at its finest here in Comcast.
Well, it always means after the passing of the holiday season, it's conference time, but this is a non-conference meeting here tonight between these two conference foes. You see the starting lineup there for the Maroons. We mentioned Clark and Williams in the outset. Also got Brandon Grissett there right in the middle. Expect him to do a few things as well. Of course, he's just under 10 points per game.
And Rice also getting a start there. You see the Elgin Maroon starters. So, once again, Larkin and Elgin. We talk about the great tradition. I love coming to this gymnasium. You see all those state championships, and there's the Larkin starters. Mydell, we will visit with his mother later. She is athletic director here at Elgin High School, and there we talked about Henderson and Ellis. Salem is one of those real hustling players, and Zimmerman will be your starting center for the Royals here tonight, who are 2-1 in the Upstate 8 Conference, and 2-2 for Elgin. But as we mentioned, although both teams members of the conference, this is considered a non-conference matchup, as they will have 8 minutes at this historic field house at Elgin High School. And the tip is controlled by Javel Cooks for the Maroons into the corner, going baseline, pull-up jumper. Hitting it is Carl Rice.
Took it right in there right away. Quick shot, attacked that zone that Larkin came out in.
Now they go another short jumper. Answering at the other end is Ellis. So Devon Ellis ties it at 2. And boy, Armani Williams, we talked about, he can shoot. Hits a 2, 4-2. And I don't know, these teams, of course, were busy in the different holiday tournaments, but Sharp here tonight, 3 for 3 from the field.
Armani, we mentioned the three-point shooting prowess, and you know the thing about him, Harry, is he's a freshman, but he doesn't act like it. Obviously, not intimidated, not frightened at all. That was the only concern I think maybe amongst the coaches prior to this game, was that how he would react in this game, in this environment, in this atmosphere. As it's packed the place night here tonight, and it is pretty much packed.
Nice dish off to Zimmerman, cannot finish. The rebound hauled down by Jamal Clark. On the break come the Maroons. Here's Cooks. And throws it out of bounds. Inbounding it will be Henderson. Carlos averaging almost 13 points a game, but 19 is his last 4 games, including 26 spot against Huntley.
Well, it took him just a little while to get on track. You know, you come over to a new team, new teammates. I mentioned in the outset of our broadcast a little bit. And he was really pressing a little bit early on. He admitted he was trying a little too hard, and a lot of times when you do that, things don't work well for you. He was trying to force the issue, and he's gradually gotten into it. He really broke loose with a 21-point game against St. Charles North, a victory for his team, and offensively he broke through, and he had a great game defensively as well. I'll get into that more as we go on, but it's just been a matter of time before he's really come along.
Working around that zone, trying to find a seam now into the corner. And that's one way to do it. A 3 by Armani Williams. So they worked it into the sharpshooter. He now has 5 in the game. Spin jumper in the lane, not there. Ellis trying to get it down baseline jumper, yes.
As you see, Devon Ellis, a quick jumper, quick release. Only at 6 foot, but he gets rid of that basketball in a hurry. Hard to defend that.
Heavy traffic out of bounds, and it will be Larkin basketball. Clark cannot find the handle. So the Royals will have it. They trail 7-4, 6:17 remaining here in the first quarter.
Rob Brault a little upset about that. The head coach for Elgin going, hey, what happened with all the contact down there? How's that not a foul?
Now Zimmerman down low post. Nice strong move to the hoop by Eric Zimmerman. 6'7", he has the size. 6'4", check that.
Well, he has the size, maybe not height, but he certainly has the size. That's one spot that Larkin has an advantage. A big body like Eric Zimmer, and that is not something that the Elgin team possesses necessarily to counteract his physical presence inside there.
Well, move by Williams. Nice defense to cut him off. Around the perimeter, Clark has it and scores. Jamal Clark averages 15 a game. The lead back up to 3. Nice shot, too.
Yeah, you know, nobody's missing right now. Both teams very hot here coming out here in a gymnasium that is actually fairly warm with all the people in here.
As you might imagine, a rivalry like this, just no matter what the record is.
Oh.
And from long range, it's Henderson. Ties it at 9.
Well, Carlos says, hey, I've done that here a few times. This is like a home game for him, so to speak.
Tipped away, but put up. One of our rare misses. Strong rebound underneath. No foul. The putback goes in by Carl Rice. Nice offensive board effort by the Maroons.
Great job by Rice to come from the top of the key and come down and crash the boards. Nobody boxed out. They were all looking defensively at guarding the basketball. There are 3 guys there, and nobody turned around and looked to find a body to put on anyone.
The Maroons in the man-to-man. Now they get down low. And out of bounds, it pays off. They try to get it to Zimmerman with that height advantage, but squirts out. A couple substitutions coming on in. John Jarrett comes in, and Jordan Wells for the Maroons.
Yeah, Eric Zimmerman basically turned to Andre and said, Andre, shoot it. I've got rebounding position down here. Don't try and get that to me in traffic. Just put it up. You catch it and shoot it where you're at.
5 out of 6 field goal shooting in the early going. Make that 6 out of 7. Armani Williams.
Very impressed by the young man.
You know, he now has 7 of their 13 points.
Averaging 12.3 per game.
Anderson has it stripped away by Clark. Here's Clark on the drive. Gets it to go. And the foul.
I'll tell you what. You know, we haven't even played 4 minutes, and there's already 15 points on the board for the Maroons, and this looks to be a high-scoring game, to say the least. Both teams want to push the tempo, and they're hitting their shots right now, going aggressively to the basket.
And there you see the strip on the replay, and here at the other end and the finish. And the foul is on Ellis, his first, team second.
They missed the free throw, but he did a good job on that.
Henderson has a rim out for 3. Oh, knocked out of bounds, out of the hands of Grissett. What a first quarter to begin our Comcast coverage here of boys and girls high school basketball 2005 version. There you see officials ready to hand in the inbound pass.
Well, both teams going at it, the intensity that we expected. It's one of the things that's been lacking somewhat, Coach Brawl has mentioned with his team, the lack of intensity at times. They certainly have it here so far at the outset. And right now, or just now, the officials had a word with a couple of players, just say, hey, with the elbows, try and control this game early as the officiating goes. Oh, that was up and down, got away with one.
And now it's stripped away, but taken right back. Grissett dishes it off now to Wells. Wells down low. Williams with it. Elgin showing good patience here. Now Clark will shoot it from 15 and hit. He now has 6 points in the ball game. So between Williams and Clark, we're waiting, of course, for.
Oh,
doesn't go. Pull-up jumper goes. A 10-point lead by the Maroons. A timeout. 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. The Maroons are red hot from the field. 19-9.
Well, just threw him off a little bit there. The left-handed shot defensively. I think he was looking to defend him one way, and also he pulled up and turned and scored left-handed. You got to know who you're playing against defensively. You got to know what some of the strengths and weaknesses are. I think we're going to see that. You'll see a little hesitation right there by Andre Clark, and didn't really jump out at him, and then he allowed him, he gave him that outside, and he's left-handed. He gave him a free spot to shoot that, to get that release off.
Well, here you see some of the, there's the Royal huddle. You saw the cheerleaders. I would say lucky if I could do a forward roll in gym class, and it's amazing the athleticism these cheerleading squads we see week in, week out here on Comcast, what those young ladies and men can do. There you see the Elgin Maroon huddle.
I still struggle with somersaults.
Yeah,
I gotta admit, it gets worse as we get older.
I have trouble rolling out of bed in the morning sometimes. So Williams has 7 and Clark has 6. Both they're perfect from the field, 6 for 6. And a 19-9 lead by the Maroons. The Royals will inbound it. And here's Ellis with the ball. Devon Ellis averages 18 a game. Now, we're waiting for a shot by Ellis. The three short on the front part of the rim. And Lewis cannot get away from Clark. I've been waiting to kind of say that. Nice move in the lane by Dan Cobb, who has just checked in the lineup.
I caught that, Lewis and Clark. Tell you what, right now, this Maroon team does not look like a 3-10 squad. Just no way. They're being very aggressive. They're catching Larkin flat-footed and just taking it to him.
Both teams played on Tuesday night. Larkin was supposed to play last night, but the game was postponed because of weather conditions. And a travel violation against Jamal Clark.
That's about the first mistake the Maroons have made here tonight.
They haven't made many.
They
That's
got
the
20.
second turnover.
I mean, they're on pace for 100 right now.
Yep, 2:14 remaining. I can't remember in this many years quite a first quarter start. And Larkin just pulled from the field after they started strong, but nice offensive rebound effort, and it pays off with a basket by Henderson.
Well, that's part of his game that he's continued to improve a little bit of his outside shot, and you can see how he just collected himself and got a nice, easy release on that. He was rushing things early in the season. He's just learned just to relax a little bit more and let the game come to him a little bit.
Henderson now with 5. More substitutions coming on in as Jimmy Brown checks in for the Royals. And Williams also back in. So both coaches using their bench early here. The pace has been brisk.
Well, they've had to.
Yep.
Tell you what.
Upstate 8 track meet the winter season.
I'm just watching these guys. I'm out of breath. I'm thirsty. I left my water bottle down there by Mark Kruger. I hope Mark.
Well, we're going to have that Lewis and Clark search party out now. We'll trailblaze our way through the stands.
I'm getting thirsty just watching these guys.
Strong move the hoop. Nice touch at the end. And that was Andre Clark who's checked in. He's a senior. And they've cut the lead now down to 8, 21-13. Minute 15 remaining in the quarter. Here's Cooks. Almost taken away, but Cooks goes up and down with it, but he was fouled on the play, they say, by George Lewis, the junior. Let's take a look at it, and he was in trouble. He went up. And they say he will go to the line to shoot 2.
There you can see the swat on the arm as he came by. Pretty good call by the official.
There you see the senior, Cooks. Short on the first of 2. Averages 3 a game. He's a 47% free throw shooter. That was one part of his game that, and probably as a team, Elgin would like to improve upon.
Yeah, they're just not a very good free throw shooting team. Only 58% as a squad. Their top free throw shooter is Brandon Grissett at 77%. Armani Williams is 71%. Everybody else is under that.
Oh, from long range, Henderson.
I tell you what, Corliss coming down the floor with a smile on his face. It's about the 3rd time he's done that. He's feeling it right now.
Picking up the dribble now, Williams has it. Showing some dribbling skills, and he loses it now. Battle for it, and Henderson has it. This is back to his cousin, Devon Ellis. 30 seconds remaining. A long shot does not go, no foul.
Looking inside.
And they fight for that ball down low. And they say a carry. So on that turnover, pretty good defense by Elgin.
I'll tell you what, Perry, that's precisely the reason why teams always want to go to the opposite end of the floor at the beginning of the game instead of the end of the game when it's obviously very important right there, Coach Kane's trying to yell to his guys for one shot, pull the ball out, set something up. Of course, they can't hear him half a court away because they're way at the other end. You know, and that's why teams do that. Yeah, they're at the wrong end right now, but you want that type of situation where your team can hear you at the end of the game where it's even more vitally important. But just now, it certainly would have helped if they were at this end of the floor on offense.
Royals have done a nice job chipping away and a near steal there. In fact, they get it, but it's taken back by the Maroons, now back by the Royals. Down low, yes, they've cut it to within 4. So what a first quarter in the books. Elgin built a 10-point lead, but after one, the Royals have come storming back and cut it to within 4 at the end of the first quarter. Player score: the Elgin Maroons 22, the Larkin Royals 18. High school basketball exclusively right here on the Comcast Network.
You're watching the Comcast Network. Turn to us first.
The Daily Herald covers the big picture with a uniquely local focus. Take our award-winning sports section. Readers turn to the Daily Herald for the authoritative word on sports from preps to pros. Inject the provocative voices of Barry Rosner and Mike Imram, plus the Dean of High School columnist Bob Frisk. And you can understand why the Daily Herald offers Chicagoland's premier sports package. So whether you're looking to read about the pros or the preps, turn to the Daily Herald. The Daily Herald, big picture, local focus.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Perry Williams, along with Steve Mulga, our Comcast Game of the Week. First of 2005. Now let's go on the court and hear from Mark Kruger with a very, very special guest.
All right, Perry Williams, thank you very much indeed. We are here with the athletic director here at Elgin, Melanie Meidel. And Melanie, what a great atmosphere here tonight between Elgin and Larkin. Always a great night, isn't it?
Yes, it's wonderful. I wish every night, every home event was like this.
And of course, other than the basketball game, there's some other things going on here tonight, isn't there?
Yes, we have a couple things. One, it's Frank Termini, Mr. Maroon, who's been in the E-Boosters. It's his 80th birthday. So we celebrated that, and the entire crowd sang happy birthday. It was wonderful. We're also helping out the victims of the tsunami. So we're in coordination with the American Red Cross, and we're fundraising for every home game. We have a donation table to help out those people in those areas that need it most through the American Red Cross and athletics here at Elgin High.
Now, Melanie, we have to let the cat out of the bag here now. You are the athletic director at Elgin. Your son, Dan, is on the Larkin basketball team. How did that happen?
Well, you know, we love you, 46. My both kids have been going to school here, and yeah, I'm a Laroon or a Markin, however you want to say it. And I'm real proud of him, and my son John will be a freshman at Larkin next year.
Well, you're leading by 5. Now, if you win, does Dan have to cook you meals the next couple days here?
Oh, sure, and do the windows and the laundry and everything else. Yeah.
We appreciate your hospitality. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perry, back to you and Steve.
All right, now look at Kruger, always trying to get some controversy going in the Meidel household. We thank them for, certainly, as he said, the hospitality. As it's 25-20 here. What a start to our coverage here of high school basketball.
Just another example of how this rivalry crosses both sides of this river, affects both sides. You got people from both sides who've gone to Elgin, but their kids go to Larkin, or they live on the Larkin side of things now, and now they cheer for Larkin, and vice versa, and it just goes back and forth. And, you know, the history of Elgin basketball itself would be enough by itself, but you throw in this rivalry, and it's just one of the things that makes high school athletics so outstanding. And a facility like this, if we get a chance later, maybe we can get one of our camera guys, get a shot of the rafters of all the banners of Elgin High School over the years, hanging at the same end as where they've got the food area down there, the wide area of the field house. It's just a neat atmosphere in here. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, no question about it. You saw I8 Salem miss both of the free throws. Yeah, great historic facility and tradition. But Larkin the last few years has been the power that be between these two clubs. Battle underneath, the foul coming up against the Royals. Good inside position for the offensive boards by Elgin. There you see the shot taken by Clark, and down low battling was Ryan Myers.
Well, defensively, that just cannot happen for Larkin. For Clark to take it off the dribble and step between two defenders and get that shot off, they cannot continue to allow that happen, or that right there.
No baseline defense as Clark took it strong, and the lead back up now to 27-20.
This is a key moment for the Maroons because they have struggled a lot of times, even especially in second quarters of the season. They've been outscored in first quarters and second quarters during the year, and it always seems like they're looking at a deficit at halftime, and they want to maintain this lead. Oh,
here's Clark, look out! He lays it in nicely. They build it back up to 9. Well, Jamal Clark coming on strong here in the second quarter.
Yeah, if he had another step on a defender, that one was going to be put down hard.
Talk about those rafters. They might have been rattled.
Yeah, that would have been a rafter shaker indeed.
Now the Royals trying to get in sync offensively here. Shot for 3, rolls in and out. Not much you can do about that. The rebound by Salem. They keep it alive. Cannot go. Henderson, yes. Great effort by the Royals, and Henderson finishes for the deuce. Well, you see how quick that Clark is. Foul coming against the Larkins, against the Royals of Larkin. There you see some of the award-winning cheerleaders from the Larkin Royals, and of course Elgin has award-winning cheerleaders as well. So Elgin basketball with 5:31 remaining here in the second. Very impressed again though by Armani Williams. There he is with the basketball right now. Some of the instincts he has that he's shown already. The little things that a freshman, a lot of times you don't see at the freshman level necessarily. This last trip down where he got the foul called on the move he made offensively, he noticed that the defender was coming out at him and he got the right angle and went to the basket. Here's Cooks, the dish off to Williams. Williams lost a handle momentarily. Now has to dish back out to Wells, who hits it for 3. Well, that has not happened very often this season, I can tell you that much. No, Jordan Wells averages only 3 a game, and there he hit a 3-pointer. That's his 4th 3-pointer on the season, 4 out of 10. Out of bounds, off the hands of Salem, so a 10-point lead yet again. 3 players with 10 points each in this ball game. Williams and Clark for Elgin, and then Henderson for the Larkin Royals. Larkin a little frustrated right now, a little stymied, struggling a little bit offensively. I don't think they expected the speed that they're seeing out of the Maroons. Now with 12 is Jamal Clark. We mentioned at the outset, as Jamal Clark goes, so go the fortunes of these Maroons. He's playing well, and his team is doing well. They're up by 12. He's one of those seniors. Maybe he's had enough of this recent trend of Larkin victories. All his younger players, his teammates, come on, boys. But Henderson and company may have something to say about that. He matches the game high with a dozen. Well, that's who they have to have pick it up here offensively. Not a real strong offensive 5 on the floor for the Royals at the moment. He's about the main guy for them, and they're going to have to get some production out of him. A 30-second timeout taken with a 10-point lead. Folks, make sure to enter the Comcast Network Chicago Wolves giveaway for your chance to win 4 tickets to a Chicago Wolves home game at the Allstate Arena. Simply visit our website at ComcastNetwork.tv and find the Comcast Network program that contains this hidden hockey buck. Then click over to the contest portion of the website and enter the correct answer under Comcast Network Chicago Wolves giveaway. Must be 13 years of age or older to enter. Some additional rules and restrictions will apply. Don't forget that's www.comcastnetwork.tv for your chance to win. So good luck. And Steve, I don't think we're eligible for that Wolves ticket giveaway, unfortunately. Unfortunately, indeed. I certainly enjoy Chicago Wolves hockey. Clark, by the way, red hot, 6 for 8 from the field, couple of rebounds to boot. Hey, you see some of the fans have jammed in here tonight. We had that high-scoring first quarter, 22-18, and it looked like there for a while. The Maroons are well on the pace for 100 points, but quick in the rivalry here, the 101 meetings, previous 101 meetings between these two schools. The highest combined score, 1974-75 season,
96-86, Elgin was the victor, 182 points. That's the highest scoring game between these two schools over the years.
Well, you mentioned Sean Harrington here, and I think they had the Marcus Howard. And
they've had some tremendous players here over the years at Elgin High School history alone. You mentioned Marcus Howard. His father, Jeff, is one of the assistant coaches on the bench for this Elgin team. Of course, Jeff married Dolores Mays, who was a cheerleader for Elgin back in the 70s. And you mentioned Marcus, one of their sons, Quentin, their other son, who's at Millikan University right now, was a standout for the Maroons. But, you know, on Dolores' side of the family, there's a whole bunch of them, including her brother, Derek, who was a standout in the 75 team that went undefeated in the Upstate 8 Conference. First team to ever do that.
Nice effort by Zimmerman, but they can't get it to go. They're controlling. They're getting some good opportunities, second, third chances. But Larkin still offensively trying to get on track. They trail by 10, 3:13 remaining here in the second quarter. Possession arrow in favor of the Royals.
Well, they've got to get Ellis. Here he is. Got to get him involved.
Yes, nothing but net for Ellis. Devon Ellis for 3.
Catch and shoot. He had Javel Cooks just shaking his head. Because Javel's like, man, I thought I was up on him, and he still hit it.
He has 7 in the ball game now. And here's Cooks. They look inside. Elgin just doesn't have all that much height, but they are hot from outside, including another 3 by Brandon Grissett.
Great job of attacking that zone. He set a double high screen, and he just swung out there. The skip pass across, and he's wide open. Set your feet and shoot it, just like in the gym.
He now has 5 in the ball game. Back at the other end. Henderson rolls in and out. Nice box out rebound by Cooks. I tell you this, Cooks, he's 5'6", but he does doesn't score a lot. Does a lot of little things right though. Just great effort. Another 3 by Clark. Biggest lead of the night, 40-27.
Well, right now it's getting away from the Royals a little bit. They've gone away from any type of inside offense. They're doing a lot of outside shots. Here we go, finally a drive to the hoop.
And they count the basket. And a foul coming up against Wells. So there's Ellis, took it strong to the hoop. And they on the block, they will whistle the foul on Wells, his first, team third.
You know, they've got to try and get the ball inside like that, though. Draw some fouls, get Zimmerman involved. There you see the bump, not quite set as Ellis went up into the air. Nice touch off the glass. You got a lot of southpaws in this game, you notice that?
Absolutely. Sometimes it's a novelty.
Yeah.
But tonight there are many. It's about half the players.
There's another one right here.
Yep. At the line. Very talented junior, and he completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way. The hoop and the harm. So a few more substitutions, which gives us a chance to do quick roster work here early in the year. Now a little pressure off the made free throw. Williams, the dish off.
There we go.
Yeah, he thought Wells was going to cut, did not do so, and the turnover gives the Royals an opportunity.
That's what that little line out there has done to the game. Years ago, the only option was a guy cutting to the basket. Now guys are trying to spot up out there, and you don't always know what they're going to do, if they're going to break to the basket or not. That's why playing together with guys are getting to learn what they do. Oh!
Offensive foul against Zimmerman.
Oh, he said he threw an elbow trying to post up there. That's what I was just saying. They got to get the ball inside to Zimmerman, get him involved, and they tried to do that. Exactly that.
Take a look at it.
You see it at the end. I don't know about that. It looked like he was coming in late.
Checking back in will be Jimmy Brown for the Royals, and Zimmerman will take a breather on the bench.
That's one of those few things I actually like about the National Basketball Association, that little line underneath the basket where you've got to be outside of that to take a charge even.
Great save by Ellis, and on the break, the basket by Clark.
So here's where the Maroons make it or break it. Can they handle this pressure?
Clark, yes, lays it in at the other end. Now has 17 in the game.
Expect Larkin to continue to put pressure on him, though. Even though they got that fast break basket, they're going to try and make this young team handle the pressure.
From long range, George Lewis.
See what,
for 3.
See what going inside a couple of times does. Opens things up to the outside. Lewis, a wide open look.
there. That time Ellis comes down with a rebound.
Great example of it right there. There was nobody on the weak side. He could have walked up and made a layup if he'd done that, but he was setting up for the 3 out there.
And there you see now they're going to call a foul on the play, a foul on Lewis. And this will send Elgin to the line. We talked about their difficulties at the free throw line, a 1-on-1 situation. Let's see it. Back at the other end, he fights for it. Kind of takes down Brissett.
Yep.
So Brandon should be going to the line.
Well, if anybody you want to shoot free throws, if you're Elgin Maroons backer, it's Brandon Brissett.
Right, 77%. Up by 7 are the Maroons.
Everybody trying to figure out where they're going to stand, who's got who. The Maroons clearly switching, it sounds like, to a man-to-man.
And with the left hand, no.
Good box out by Zimmerman.
Yep. Ellis, a great pass down low. And finishing is Brown.
Here come
down.
The Royals.
Yes, they were trailing by 14 at one point, now by 5. See if Elgin wants to settle for that last shot. Here's Cooks. Cobb. Pressure defense up front now. The turnover. Zimmerman, or check that. It's Stanley with it now at the other end. Oh, and Elgin gets it with an opportunity to close out the half on the break. Not there. Sloppy play late. Ellis, the bounce pass. The shot does not go. What a first half. Elgin 42, Larkin 37. The Maroons have led throughout, but what a comeback by the Royals to close the gap to within 5, 42-37. So end-to-end action here. And let's go on the court and hear from Mark Kruger. Mark?
All right, Perry Williams, thank you very much. Here with Coach Broad. Coach, your team shot the ball awful well in that first half.
Yeah, I thought we did shoot it well, but the bottom line is we're not picking up in transition, and we're not talking to each other defensively. So if we continue to do that, they're going to score 70 points, and that's not to our advantage.
Appreciate your time. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
All right, Perry, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Mark. Thanks for Coach for stopping by as we are at halftime with Elgin leading it 42-37. You're watching the Comcast Daily Herald High School Basketball Game of the Week.
You're watching the Comcast Network. Turn to us first.
The Daily Herald covers the big picture with a uniquely local focus. Take our award-winning sports section. Readers turn to the Daily Herald for the authoritative word on sports from preps to pros. Inject the provocative voices of Barry Rosner and Mike Imram, plus the Dean of High School columnist Bob Frisk, and you can understand why the Daily Herald offers Chicagoland's premier sports package. So whether you're looking to read about the pros or the preps, turn to the Daily Herald. The Daily Herald, big picture, local focus.
Welcome back. Halftime. Elgin on top of Larkin, 42-37. Here with Larkin's head coach, Coach Kane. And Coach Boyd, they shot lights out, but yet you guys are still only down 5.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one positive to take out of it. They shot the ball extremely well. We got to do a better job defensively. And it means closing out with a high hand, playing in a stance, and then boxing out and crashing the boards. I thought we did a good job when we got on the boards.
Jamal Clark had a big first half. Any defensive adjustments on him?
We got to get around him. We got to deny him the ball. We got to white the post. We got to get in front in the post. And we just got to make sure that we do a better job of, knowing where their shooters are so they don't hurt us.
Appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half. All right. Perry, back to you and Steve.
All right, there you see our halftime statistics and our scoreboard. 42-37 is your score as the Maroons and the Royals doing battle here at the Chesborough Fieldhouse at Elgin High School. Thanks both their coaches for stopping by. Here are our first half statistics, courtesy of our stat man extraordinaire, Mr. Nick Pinto yet again. Look at that field goal percentage shooting by Elgin, 78%. Free throws, no real consequence. Rebounds and turnovers, there you see. High scorers, Henderson with 12 for the Royals, Ellis with 10. Williams has 10 for Elgin, 17. The lead all scorers is Jamal Clark. 5 of 6 field goals in the second quarter. And Zimmerman, 4 rebounds for Larkin.
The biggest number there, of course, that 78%. 18 of 23 from the field. We knew they were hot. They hit a lot of shots early. They continued that. They cooled off a little bit, but they continued that through most of that second quarter. They had some high percentage shots, even when they didn't get the good open looks, good ball movement, attacking the basket. Very impressed by this Maroon team. Just 3 and 10 coming into this game. They didn't look that way in the first half, and you know, they're going to have to handle Larkin's pressure in the second half to hold on to this game.
And on the break, trying to track it down, but defensively Henderson comes to strip it out of bounds off Brissett's hand. So it will be Elgin basketball, but nice transition defense by Henderson.
Great job to get down there and strip the ball away. Looked like Brissett was going to have a layup, and next thing you know, he doesn't have the basketball anymore.
Nope. Now a little baseline move by Clark, and he loses control. Well, so the Royals will have it.
The second half is underway, and Joe Kane's getting serious now. Took
right.
his jacket off, facing the sidelines over there. And Coach Kane's been done a great job as a head coach here. His second season as head coach, taking over from Don Panada, a longtime head coach. He retired for health reasons. And but Joe Kane had some head coaching experience prior to that, because Coach Panada had those health problems about 3-4 years ago, and Joe was the interim coach for a little while too. So he's used to being at the helm of this program, and has done a great job though since he's taken over full time.
Yeah, last year they were 16-14, their first winning record since 97-98 season, and plus they had a regional championship to boot a year ago. And the travel violation by Williams. So a couple turnovers here early by both squads. So the score remains a 5-point lead for the Maroons.
Tell you what, if this were track and field and that was the triple jump, that's okay.
Right.
Not basketball. He tried to split through defenders, jump over them, and then add another little extra hop in there, a little skip, and the official said, yeah, that's an easy call. I can get that one.
Yeah, where's the sand? That was, you know, where's the triple jump? 42-37.
Well, how about the fact that it was nothing but points and flying up and down the floor the first 2 quarters. The first minute here, the second half, nobody scored. Total opposite of what we had the first half.
Ellis from the corner for 3, rolls out. Fighting for the loose ball, out of bounds, Elgin. Going head-to-head down there is Ryan Myers, seeing a lot of action early, number 33, going against Jimmy Brown down low. Down the near sideline. Williams is firing. Nice save down low by Rice. Now stripped away. Here's Henderson. Left hand. No, the basket on the rebound is in by Ellis.
Great job by Davon to not give up on the play, to hustle down there, and he gets the tip in.
Back to within 3.
Coach Kane gone with a quicker lineup here in this third quarter. He's got Zimmerman off the floor, and it's showing.
Henderson, look out, their layup within 1.
Well, you knew they were going to cool off sooner or later, but they're not even hardly getting shots off now, the Maroons, and they're going to have to talk things over.
Their once big lead in the first half just about gone, down to 1, 5:55 remaining in the third quarter. A timeout, Elgin.
The Maroons are yet to score. They're going to talk things over there and try and figure out some things. Right there talking to Clark about, hey, you got to get going, kid.
Folks, I want to tell you about a very special program on Sports Weekly. We start with Prep Sports highlights, interviews, coaches, players, and fans, and a pair of veteran hosts. Passion for local sports. At Sports Weekly comes to life every week at Sports Weekly Thursday nights at 6:30 for additional showtimes. Log on to Comcast Network.tv. I co-host that wonderful show with Dave Wills, hardest working man in broadcasting.
You know what you folks at home couldn't see just now was Perry's smile as he read veteran host.
They tell me to say seasoned host, but the way my hair has turned colors over the years, I prefer to say veteran.
Well, we were laughing at halftime because the entire student section for Larkin was sitting during halftime. And as soon as the players came out, we're getting ready to start second, they all stand up.
For the lead, Ellis, yes! Another turnover off the inbound. 43-42 Larkin.
And another reason to get them up and standing and cheering. And they have a lot to share here early in this third quarter. As Elgin still off the scoreboard here in the third.
Yep, now they'll go to the line. Myers, the senior, will go to shoot 2 from the free throw line. Just taking another look at it. What a great pass. And Ellis just kind of catch and shoot.
Well, he knew he had a defender just right underneath him. He decided he was not going to bring that ball down, just catch it, shoot it on this far from the rim. Nice soft touch off the glass. But, you know, we were joking about that. You know, you get to be a little bit older, you sit during the game and stand at halftime to stretch, and the students, of course, the kids do the exact opposite.
Well, you talk about Elgin having trouble to find a shot here in the third quarter. They've shot once, but turned the ball over 4 times. Now we're tied at 43. Yeah, that is kind of one of those weird things in life. You kind of do things opposite as you used to. Misses the second. Rebound tracked down by George Lewis. Now Ellis will slow things up. Tied at 43.
Now the Maroons in a zone.
Henderson. Strong rebound down low by 5'6". Javel Cooks. His third of the night. Clark, no. Cooks, the offensive board, tracked down. Wild shot by Williams goes in. Oh my.
Well, yeah, they're going to have to be a little more patient in offense, though.
And Clark able to pull down the rebound.
Yeah, try and get a better shot this trip down.
Yep. Myers. They're not exactly running offensive patterns.
No.
2-point lead by Elgin. Zimmerman, no. Foul on the play at Clark, and Eric will go to the line. Let's take another look at the shot by the freshman Armani Williams. Here it is. A little pump fake.
Thought about a 3, goes in, he's starting to lose the handle, and just kind of gets it up there. And we call that a shooter's touch.
Yep.
Good thing not trying to play force right there, and you'd have to try and duplicate that bobble and shoot kind of thing.
There's a good look at Brian Stanley, the 6'1" senior. A little strong on that first attempt with 2. Back in the lineup is Andre Clark. And also checking in will be Ayed Salem, number 24.
Stanley not real good from the free throw line, 4 of 14 on the season.
But he got that one. And another substitution coming on in. As Jimmy Brown will go in for the shooter, Stanley.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say he bumped him all right. Somebody had to come to the basketball sooner or later. You see Coach Kane.
He was towering over Mark Kruger. Okay, they were almost out of the night.
Yeah, but he's a tall man.
Yeah, he is.
He's about 6'7", 6'8".
Balling in the day.
Yeah, you can almost stereotype him as, you know, your prototypical center back in his day probably, and Rob Brault the exact opposite, the point guard.
Yeah, point
He's
guard,
a little guy. Yeah, nippy little jump there just now. He saw an opening, and his guys did not get the ball down there. He was a little upset about it. Very animated on that sideline at times. Kind of fun to watch.
Yep. And that's not necessarily fun to watch, but going to the line will be Wells. As Elgin they were so crisp and sharp in the first half, and they shooting that high percentage from the field. And let's take another look at it.
It just bounces the right spot, and Wells is like, oh, hey, I'm right here by the rim. May as well try it.
Try it again, and Jordan will go to the line to shoot 2. 50% the free throw shooter. And he will have the second coming up.
Well, we mentioned it before. They're just not a very good free throw shooting team overall. Wells on the year at 50%.
And true to form, he makes 1 of 2. Don't forget, we'll have our Comcast Daily Herald Player of the Game interview afterwards. Always high drama. Who will it be?
Well, I know one guy who will be there, Mark Kruger.
Mark Kruger will be there. And the game is tied again at 46 this time. Here's Grissett. He's had a strong game here this evening. Nice little crossover dribble. Now into the corner to Wells. Wells going baseline. Draws the foul. 4th on the team in the second half. Only 1 on the Maroons.
I get the feeling that this is what a lot of teams have done to Elgin. Just take another look at the drive here.
Foul on Ellis.
Don't quite finish it, but go man-to-man defense against these Maroons. Because right now it seems to be stymieing them a little bit since Larkin switched to this.
And Williams was in heavy traffic and took it up, and he drew the foul.
A lot of Larkin fans saying, hey, you bailed him out there. Not much there for Williams, kind of forces it. We'll take another look at it. He's got it here. He's got 3 Larkin guys around him trying to head fake, forces up, and he had at least 3 teammates wide open. But fortunately for him, he did draw the contact. He'll get a chance to shoot here from the line.
He has 13 in the game. Smooth shot.
Well, I like everything about his game that I've seen.
Yep.
Just a freshman. As he gets bigger and stronger, you're going to hear this kid's name again. A few times.
Yep, and you can already tell the coaches of other schools in the Upstate 8 Conference saying, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
4 years of this youngster, this talent.
Well, he seems to have some pretty good instincts for the game.
Yep.
See the little intangibles that I've been watching as we've gone along, things that he recognizes and does well.
He has nice long arms, too. He's 5'11", but he has a good wingspan. Pick up his game defensively, could really become a force. Salem flying in. Doesn't get the rebound, but here's Henderson from 17. Yes! Tied at 48. What a ball game here tonight. Clark off balance. Offensive rebound taken down. But the shot missed by Grissett. And Henderson double team there. Stolen. Dish off down low. Cannot finish. Back at the other end. Brown. No. The tip. The Maroons back on the break. And Grissett will set up the offense for the Maroons. What a sequence.
That was one of the few times I think Rob Brault jumped higher than his players. He really wanted to push the ball in there.
Williams, long range, not there, fighting for the rebound. No call on the shot. 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Henderson has it rejected, and they call a foul instead by Clark.
Well, Jamal, I think, probably got it fairly cleanly. We'll take another look at it. Official thought otherwise. Goes up, and oh yeah, there's the body there at the end. Clark leads his team with 28 blocks on the season. The next closest guy only has 11, and Carl Rice. He's got nearly half the block shots for his team. Long and lanky at 6'3" and 170 pounds, and he can jump pretty well, but no matter how high he jumped that time, Henderson drew body contact.
And now it's 15 in the game. Wholesale substitutions late in the quarter. By the way, the sophomore game played before. It's a good one, too. Elgin victorious in that one. Over the Royals.
Had to have wholesale substitutions here right now because, well, there's only 4 guys on the floor for Elgin. Larkin's going, hey, let's play.
Yep.
Oh, there he is. Armani Williams hiding way at the other end. He was down there buying a hot dog and a Coke at the concession stand. Nobody knew where he was. Because they counted, hey, there's only 4 guys in the free throw line.
Making 1 of 2. Now tipped away. Henderson back with it. Dish off. Lewis to the hoop. Rejected and blocked. Out of bounds. Larkin basketball.
The Royals fortunate to get that back. Lewis a little ball fake, but he really needed to catch and shoot. He had a defender flying at him. He had another one down low. The ball fake. Okay, you're going to take care of one guy, but the other guy's still there.
And wanting a 30-second timeout is Coach Kane and the Larkin Royals.
Well, good thing they did, though, make those mass substitutions a moment ago because we had the frenetic pace. Some guys need some oxygen.
Well, just to fill in a little bit on the time I would talk about Sports Weekly, make sure you tune in January 13th at 6:30 p.m. for highlights of this game. Plus, Holiday Tournament Championship. St. Joe's taking on Julian at Proviso West. Thornton against Hales Franciscan at the Rich South Big Dipper. And Fenwick versus Resurrection at Dundee Crown Girls. Plus, West Aurora Glenbard East and St. Joe's at Marist. And Metro West All-Stars versus Metro Central All-Stars in hockey in Crystal Lake. So all sorts of exciting action. There you see the Upstate 8 Conference, the top tier of it anyway.
Negro Valley now a big surprise there as Billy Parrish, big 6'4" senior, leads them. East Aurora, a little bit of a surprise. They've played very well as of late. And Wabansie Valley just reloads every year. But there you see the bottom 5 teams as well. And some teams there capable of beating anybody, though, on a given night in a pretty competitive and equally matched conference.
Outstanding basketball, of course, we know throughout our Comcast coverage area, and some of the best you'll find is in that Upstate 8 Conference.
You talk about the holiday tournaments that folks will be able to catch some of the highlights of those. Of course, they had a holiday tournament here again this year at Elgin. Although the Maroons did not do very well in the tournament. It was fun. Certainly a fun time. A lot of basketball played here.
Ellis, the layup, yes. Biggest lead of the night for the Royals. It's 3, 51-48.
See how the Maroons respond.
Boy, Larkin has done a nice job defensively here in the third quarter to take that lead.
And now they're back to an aggressive zone.
Williams has cooled off some too, but they're getting the hand in his face when he takes the shot.
Well, they've played so much better defense in this third quarter than they did that first half, and I'm sure Coach Kane just all he did was say 78%.
There you see a block by Jamal Clark. Clark at the other end. Stop, pop, dish,
nice
shot. Ooh. No. But going to the line will be Carl Rice, the junior.
Well, that's why you don't take your eye off the basketball. Brian Stanley got caught flat-footed because he turned away thinking that Cook was going to shoot that and took his eye off the basketball. Next thing you know, the pass comes right past his head, right to the guy standing next to him. He bumped him. There you get a good look at it. Carl Rice.
Well,
a little off the mark of that.
Wide on that shot. Checking in at John Jarrett. Also, Drissette back in.
Glenbrook South, by the way, Harry, won the tournament here at Elgin quite handily, as a matter of fact. 74-55 over Waukegan in the title game. But Kevin Bolger, keep an eye out for that kid. You're going to hear that name a few times before it's all over. He was the tournament MVP and led the way for them in the championship game. He and Jeff Ryan have combined to really, Glenbrook South is looking pretty good, 11-2 already on the season, and will be one of the top teams here come playoff time.
Yeah, I think they avenged earlier defeat to the hands of Waukegan. Now battling down low. Shot still long. Henderson with it down low, puts it up. No, but he was fouled, and will go to the line to shoot 2. And back at the other end, Elgin missed 2 with the free throw, so that we talked about their free throw shooting, and it could come really to bite them here tonight. We shall see what happens in the fourth quarter. Long way to go, of course.
That ball just all over the place like a pinball off of people's heads and their hands, and all of a sudden, hey, opportunistic underneath and get a shot for some more points here.
Going for point number 18 on the night is Henderson, and he gets it.
Yeah, Waukegan, by the way, was 11-2 as well, and another top team. But Nick Pruitt was the other kid I wanted to mention from Batavia. One of the best underclassmen in the state of Illinois. He's also a freshman, so keep your eye out for that kid.
Long on the second. 4-point lead for the Royals, 52-48. Larkin leading Elgin. Final seconds of the quarter. Williams with it. Down in the lane, it's rejected.
He traveled.
And it traveled now. That will give Elgin one type of opportunity.
Well, there was a lot more time on the clock when he traveled, but nobody's yelling that can they put any more time on. It's not like they can really do that here. You don't have a TV replay to look at. So what are they going to do? They only got a 1/10 of a second.
It's like one of those. It's going to toss it up and hope to tip it in somehow. It doesn't go with the horn sound. What a good third quarter by the Larkin Royals. They have stormed into the lead at the end of 3 quarters of play. It is now Larkin 52, Elgin 48. Fourth quarter action coming your way next. You're watching the Comcast Daily Herald High School Basketball Game of the Week.
You're watching the Comcast Network. Turn to us first.
The Daily Herald covers the big picture with a uniquely local focus. Take our award-winning sports section. Readers turn to the Daily Herald for the authoritative word on sports from preps to pros. Inject the provocative voices of Barry Rosner and Mike Imram, plus the Dean of High School columnist Bob Frisk. And you can understand why the Daily Herald offers Chicagoland's premier sports package. So whether you're looking to read about the pros or the preps, turn to the Daily Herald. The Daily Herald, big picture, local focus.
Welcome back, everybody, to Chesborough Fieldhouse at Elgin High School in Elgin, Illinois. Our Comcast Daily Herald Game of the Week. I'm Perry Williams, along with Steve Mulga and Mark Kruger. Great to have you with us here in our first game of high school basketball coverage in the year 2005. And we'll be with you with exciting basketball throughout our coverage area in Comcast all throughout through the super sectionals for boys and girls. So tune in every week to see exciting basketball at its finest, brought to you right here by Comcast. Starting the fourth quarter, Clark cannot get it to go. Only 6 points in third quarter by Elgin and only 1 field goal. Clark doing all he can. Now he gets the rebound. Wants it back, doesn't get it. The shot taken by Williams for 3. No.
Well, that was a pretty good look for Armani that time, and set up and nobody over there and just off the mark a little bit. You know, and that's one of those things, as he gets bigger and stronger.
He can take it to the hoop, too.
Exactly. You know, he's got to continue to get stronger, have strength, stamina at the end of the game.
Clark with the steal. Oh! Cannot finish. He might be getting a little tired. The last couple times down, he's been a little bit short with the shots. Well, boy, that's one that they, as they say, would like to have back.
Yeah, there you see Rob Brault going, how did he miss that? He
0 for 4, last 4 attempts.
Of course, coaches, they want every single time there's a bump, they think that should be a foul.
Right.
So, of course, he was looking at the official initially. But his team's just got to execute. Only 6 points you mentioned in that third quarter. He outscored 15-6 by Larkin. 1 field goal. They were only 4 of 8 from the free throw line. As we mentioned at the outset, just not a very good free throw shooting team that's coming into play here, and it could cost them in the end.
Now working around the perimeter with the ball and the 4-point lead. For the Royals. Showing good patience here on offense. Henderson down low, nicely done. You talk about execution. That was to perfection by the Royals, their biggest lead of the night at 6.
And Corliss gave a look to some fans over in the Elgin side of things coming up the floor, too. You don't think he wanted this game?
Oh, homecoming return by him now. For 3, back at the other end, and that will end the bloodletting for a bit.
Yeah, Armani finally got it on track a little bit. They've got to get some production, though, out of Clark. As Clark has disappeared, so has their lead.
Right? He's had some opportunities, just could not finish. The lead is 3, a long way to go, of course. And there's Clark with a rejection, looking for help.
Nice look.
He gets it, here he is. And the jam!
That'll ignite him here at Chesborough Fieldhouse.
Back to within 1. He has 19, back at the other end, no, the rebound. On the break. No. And a great save by Ellis down low, a timeout taken. And Elgin had the opportunity. I think they were so excited to get that go-ahead basket, they lost control of it. And look at the fans, what a game. 54-53 Larkin. 5:15. We've had some unbelievable sequences here tonight. Let's take a look at
another look at it.
Look at
fumble. Here it goes back and forth. Now Maroon's got it. He misses it. Now he got it again, and it loses. Oh, I mean, it just goes back and forth. And Stanley here, a great idea. He's got nowhere to go. He's double teamed down there. He immediately, smart play, calls timeout. So they use a 30-second timeout, because otherwise he was in trouble, trapped down there in the baseline.
Yeah, Stanley, the senior, showing some good court awareness to call that timeout. And of course, Clark with that jam. That was one that rattled the Raptors we talked about. And the student body, boy, what a great turnout by both schools and the entire community here in Elgin.
Rim rattler by Clark. You know, back in the day, I used to be able to do that too, Perry.
Yeah,
of course, it was on an 8. Exactly.
Listen, I know your routine because I did the same. Back at the other end, the lead, back at the 3. Yeah, you lower the basket, you can jam like he did.
Well, that's one thing that we like to joke about, those things. And certainly the young man has some ability there. You see him again.
There he is. Nice ball movement that time. I was also pretty good with that Nerf basketball myself, too. I could palm it, no problem. He has 21 to Clark now in the ball game. Back to within 1.
Of course, the third member of our group really could have legitimately dunked, yet he never went that close to the basket.
Oh yeah, he didn't like that physical contact. Mark Kruger.
Mark's 6'4", and he was shooting threes.
Yeah.
Before there was a three-point line.
From half court.
We can do that to him. He's way down on the other end of the floor. He can't get us right now.
Off the inbound, no, and Clark comes with the strong rebound. Strip from behind, but here's Williams. Yeah, you're right. He could sometimes you think put it on the floor and take it to the hoop, maybe draw a foul. They have 6 against Larkin here in the second half, so one more is 1-1. 1-point ball game halfway through our fourth quarter.
Looks like they're running motion offense. Nice move.
Oh, nice smooth lay-in down the lane to build it back up to 3.
Davon Ellis with the finger roll.
And a whistle for a stoppage of play.
Well, it appears that Elgin player got a cut. Ryan Myers, the official recognized that he's bleeding, so they kill the play there. You see Ellis just go right down the lane. They spread things out a little bit, and guys trying to overplay in the screen and moving out to the wings. Ellis goes, hey, the middle's wide open here. I'm taking it.
He now has 20 in the ball game, and no one challenged him in that lane.
Good, hard man-to-man defense.
That time Williams did take it strong to the hoop, and he drew the foul, and he will shoot 2. Now, Elgin the other night in their loss to Cary Grove, they were behind. They came back to take the lead, and then they had an opportunity to win it, but the shot, the buzzer shot by Clark, rimmed out. Lost it 61-60 to the Trojans. There you see the replay into that, and here's Williams at the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, I know it was a very frustrating loss for them because they felt they should have won that game. They had that game in their back pocket and let it slip away.
Now this free throw shooting will be key. Back in the lineup is Zimmerman, Eric, the senior. Gives him a nice presence inside.
3.5 minutes, you got to hit all these free throws down the stretch.
Yep. He has 17 in the evening, as you see. There's a nice wrist action and follow through on his shot. Makes 1 of 2. Make it a 2-point ball game.
Well, the big difference right now has been, I think, the defense of Henderson and Clark here in the second half. Really shut him down.
Zimmerman coming up with the rebound. Back there, Henderson cannot go. But Ellis comes up with it.
There's an over the back. Yep.
And the Royals with opportunity after opportunity using their height advantage on the offensive boards. And there's the foul. It will be an Elgin.
Yeah, you've got Henderson, you've got Zimmerman, you've got Stanley, 3 physical players out there, and they're winning the boards right now. And of course, a leaper like Ellis as well.
Ellis has 7 rebounds. And now there's discussion whether they were shooting or 3 officials here tonight.
Oh, okay. They're just trying to clarify.
Let's see. They're trying to
Now they are going to say it wasn't over the back. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I did too. I was a little confused there. So now we go to the other end, or we should. And Clark would go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Yeah, that's a big turnaround. It looked like they were going to let Larkin shoot. Instead, he'll go to the other end.
So here's Clark at the line. Pretty good free throw shooter. Of course, every time we say something like that over the years, you know, he's made 10 straight, hasn't missed yet, then of course the kid misses.
I just want to point out, you said that, not me. Don't blame me. Not the jinx this time.
Well, we'll just blame like everything else. We're playing Kruger. The first of 2. Yes. Okay, I take credit for that. Back within 1, 58-57. What a game by this young man. Jamal Clark, 22 in the evening. Strong on the boards. Ties it at 58, 3:11 remaining.
A 63% free throw shooter makes both when he has to. We're back to even. Be a lot of fun here the last 3 minutes.
Sure will. Here's Ellis. What a game he has played.
Oh, very aggressive man-to-man, way out on the ball.
Almost lost the handle. Nice defense there by Rice. Now deep in that far corner. Stanley will have to inbound.
For a little bit of a mismatch.
And they had 2 players there now on the break. And in the lead, Brissett on the basket, and Elgin leads it by 2.
Great job by Brandon Grissett to run the floor.
They sent 2 players down after the shot. For 3 in the lead. It's Andre Clark. 61-60.
That was a huge tray by Andre.
Steal. Oh! And missing the jam. Clark, the putback. Can't get it to go again. No! Tie up Elgin. And Larkin has the possession arrow in its favor. Opportunities for the Maroons. They could not finish. Oh my, what a sequence yet again. 2:14.
Boy, Carl Rice certainly would like to have that one back.
Here it is.
He got a little greedy here. Just get the points.
Yep. He went a little too far underneath.
Yep, just lost the handle a little bit as well.
Maybe 4 or 5 easy shots missed.
They clear things out.
Now here's Henderson trying to go coast to coast. He does. Blocking foul.
Well, that's not a bad foul necessarily.
Nope. He was going strong to the hoop.
It's only the 15th foul as well, so he's not going to be shooting. Armani Williams just free throw line extended there, tried to just get set because he saw Henderson running full speed. That takes a lot of confidence and you know, tell you what, gumption right there on the freshman's part, because he's a little guy and Henderson is not little. Well, I take that back. There was a 15th foul, so they are shooting.
That was two active shooting. We missed the first. I tell you, the officials have done a nice job here tonight. Big rivalry game, big crowd, and we haven't really noticed them, which means they've done really a good job. Here you see the award-winning student section, and they have one on the other side as well. 2-point lead for the Royals.
Well, that 3-point line could still come into play.
Yep. Now there you see the Royals will pick up with their press off the made free throw.
Kane gets more physical presence in there again. Not the fastest lineup on the floor for him, but more physical. He wants the rebound at the other end when it comes.
Here's Clark. Clark gets it over.
Uh-oh.
Almost throws it away, does throw it away.
I was just going to say, you got 2 minutes to go. Every possession, very important. And they come away with nothing on this one.
Yeah, Jimmy Brown back in, and there you see the pass just off the fingertips.
As Zimmerman goes out, they switch back to the faster, more offensive-minded player. Comes in his spot. That being Jimmy Brown.
quick foul on Myers. So one more will be the 1-and-1 situation. They'll force Larkin to the line. They'll try to, they're picking up their own defensive intensity and trying to get a turnover off the inbound. Doesn't go. Oh. And getting the nice roll is Henderson and a 4-point lead. Timeout Elgin, 1:41 remaining. 64-60 Larkin.
Good timeout call by Rob Brault. They got to figure out what they're going to do here. They've got to get some points on this trip.
Folks, make sure we talk about the exciting coverage for you each and every week right here on Comcast. Here's the games you'll be enjoying next week. We have the Maine West Warriors against the Glenbrook North Spartans. John Shire and the rest of the Spartans welcome the Warriors in Northbrook for a Central Suburban North matchup. And you want to see Shire. He's an outstanding junior, one of the best in the country. And then we have the Proviso East Pirates against the Oak Park River Forest Huskies. That's a West Suburban Boys crossover game in Oak Park as the Pirates take on the Huskies. For specific air times, dates, and channel location in your area, visit our website at www.comcastnetwork.tv. So we got the Pirates and Huskies in one matchup, and you'll enjoy the Warriors and Spartans in the other next week. Henderson with 23 points in the game, 5 boards, and 6 of those points coming here in the fourth quarter. Got that nice roll there.
Yeah, he did, but I tell you what, again, I go back to his defense. He really kept Jamal Clark somewhat in check in this third and fourth quarter, and it's exactly what he did in the game, his breakout game against St. Charles North. He held their 6'5" center Peter Nelson to just 2 points in the first half. 6'5", 250, I might add, by the way, someone bigger than him. And then he guarded their premier three-point shooter in the second half, Brad DeJong, and he was 0 for 12 from the field. He said, hey, I can guard guys, big guys or little guys, whatever it takes, and he's doing it here tonight.
Yeah, Clark 2 for 8 field goals here in the second half. So you're see pick up the defensive intensity and works the clock too. Here's Wells who will reset, but still plenty of time.
Yep, they got to get a good shot. They got to get some points here. They know it. Being patient.
Oh, they missed the backdoor cut too. Now Williams for 3 hits it. The freshman Armani Williams.
Oh my, that was big time.
Here's Ellis, almost stripped away. Ellis
out of control.
No call. And hitting it, big shot is Clark. Back to within a 3-point lead.
There he is again.
Hitting it for 3 that time. Brissett. We're tied at 66.
Oh, that 3-point line has been a nice addition to the game of basketball, hasn't it?
Yeah, you foreshadowed that. You said it could come into play, and it has the last 2 times down. As we're tied at 66, timeout Larkin, 33.6. And this is just game 1 of our season, our coverage for you here on Comcast.
Oh, man, that was 2 big-time shots by Armani Williams and Brandon Brissett. Both about the same spot on the floor for each of them, hitting a couple of threes. And I tell you what, Larkin was fortunate there was not an offensive foul called at the other end on Ellis as he dished off the basketball. He clearly ran over Armani Williams, who was trying to set up for the charge, and I thought he got it, but the official said it just was not part of the play necessarily. And then they come back down and hit the big shot. And you know, Joe Kane right now is talking about probably getting the ball inside to Henderson. Let Henderson go to work, at least draw a foul if nothing else.
Foul situation, 8. Both teams, well, 1 more in Elgin. They'll be in the 1-and-1, and already 8 on Larkin here. So you're, oh, what a game! And there you see the award-winning cheerleaders and fans, and the bench at the other side for Elgin, the Maroons, head coach and staff. And I tell you, you need all those great assistants. We always talk, or maybe don't talk about the assistant coaches enough, but there you see the young freshman brought him back within 3, and then Crissette, the sophomore, hit the other 3 to tie it. And they do not get the over and back call. And another timeout taken.
Well, they got to be careful not to get a technical.
Right.
The entire coaching staff for Elgin, very upset right there. Rob Brault, Jeff Howard, Jesse Henderson, Randy Papa, all of them over there almost in the official's face, going, he's right in front of you, right in front of us. He stepped. Let's see if we can see here. Does he step on the out-of-bounds line? It's very hard to tell from here.
Can't tell from that angle.
But they're standing right there, and watch their reaction. They're going, hey, look at Rob Ross. It's right there. Right in front of you.
And there you see the official right there as well, though.
And he's saying, he's pointing at me. He's saying he was bumped out. He's saying he's bumped. I'm not calling that. It's either you want a foul call or you want the play just to go on. Wow.
Well, they got to regroup and forget about it and move on with 27.9 seconds.
Well, more interesting is exactly they've got to regroup, figure out what they're going to do defensively here, because Larkin saw what they did and decided we're going to call another timeout and attack this a little bit differently now that we see what they're going to play defensively.
Yeah, they're on the road with 27 seconds. At times we've seen them execute, use some clock, and Henderson finish. And will they hold for the last shot? We don't know.
Well, I certainly think they will try. You got to get the ball to Ellis and eventually get it to Henderson. I'm surprised there, Ellis. I'm surprised he didn't handle the ball from the get-go.
Here's Park though with it. Henderson.
All right. There he is.
Now here's Ellis.
Now clear it out for him a little bit.
Park. He's had a nice game off the bench tonight for the Royals.
Got to wait till about 8 seconds and then go. That way you don't give the Maroons an opportunity to do anything if they get the rebound.
Ellis. No, the tip. Elgin with an opportunity. The freshman Williams. He's fouled with 0.5 seconds on the clock. Armani Williams will have 3 free throws. Only needs to have 1 to win the game.
Wow.
Foul is on Henderson.
And there's no question about it that he fouled him. He almost knocked him into the 3rd row.
Nice dish off by Crusette.
Well, we don't see it necessarily on that play, but he got leveled out there. And he did. He shot, Ellis shot a little too early. There was still about 5 ticks on the clock when he got the rebound.
3 for 4 from the line here tonight for the freshman. Now, of course, Larkin will do everything they can do to try to disrupt his concentration. He is 21 in the game.
Oh, you see a little look on his face of concentration.
Yes, Armani Williams has 22, and it's a 1-point lead for Elgin. Well, now they say it was just a 2-point opportunity. I thought it was 3.
Put on the line. Yeah, he must have had his foot on the line.
In that far corner, but he hit the first. Here's the second. 23, a 2-point game.
Okay, now you only got 5/10 to say. You got to get somebody who can throw the ball at least half court, if not more. And you've got some bigger bodies down the floor. They've got to get in position, maybe just catch and turn it and throw it up there.
Elgin, you don't want to foul.
Not a lot you can do. Oh, that's it.
Tip. And Elgin wins the game, 68-66, and let the celebration begin at Chesborough Fieldhouse.
A lot of excited people, happy people in that crowd, and rightfully so. Their team, the large, vast underdog coming into this game, comes away with the victory.
There you see the final, 68-66. What a game! Back with our Comcast Daily Herald Player of the Game interview right after this.
You're watching the Comcast Network. Turn to us first.
Winter is here, but things are heating up on the Comcast Network. Now is your chance to win 4 tickets to a Chicago Wolves home game at the Allstate Arena. Just log on to www.comcastnetwork.tv and find the Comcast Network program that contains this hidden icon. Then click over to Contests and enter the correct answer under the Comcast Network Chicago Wolves giveaway. Some rules and restrictions apply. That's www.comcastnetwork.tv for your chance to win.
What a game, what a finish as Elgin wins it just before the buzzer. 68-66 your final over their arch rival Royals of Larkin, as we expected a barn burner here tonight, and it indeed was one. Now let's go courtside and hear from Mark Kruger standing by with our Comcast Daily Herald players of the game. Mark?
All right, Perry Williams, indeed, thank you very much. Well, we go from one spectrum to the other. The freshman Armani Williams and the senior Jamal Clark are Comcast Daily Herald players of the game. Let's start first with Armani Williams, the freshman with 23 points. Armani, first talk about that big three towards the end of the game.
Well, I just thought that at the end of the game that we should have really stepped up at the beginning, and I thought I just had to make a big shot at the end, even though if I would have missed it, that my team still would have been proud of me.
And then the clutch free throws, you were 5 for 6 down the game, those clutch ones down at the end to seal it.
Yeah, I got to thank my coach for that, because we practice a lot on free throws in practice.
What's this like now as a freshman? You said, boy, you couldn't wait for this first rivalry between Elgin and Larkin and all the billing, huh?
Yeah, I heard a lot of stuff, and I just wanted to bring my all out in this game.
Well, you certainly did, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right. Our other co-player of the game, Jamal Clark, the senior. Jamal, what an effort. Boy, you guys started out this ball game on fire offensively, huh?
Yeah, we have to work hard on our plays and their plays up in practice today.
Talk a little bit about that third quarter. They kind of held you guys down a little bit. They had a 15-6 advantage in that third quarter.
Half our shots wasn't going down, and we wasn't playing that much defense.
How much of an effort does this mean to this team after coming off of that 1-point loss on Tuesday night to Cary Grove? This has to be a huge win for you guys.
It means a lot, because now we can show that we're ready to play.
Well, Jamal, congratulations. A 23-point effort. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
All right. Our co-players of the game, Perry, let's go back to you.
All right. Thanks very much, Mark. Great job. Steve, any final thoughts?
Well, definitely that Elgin needed this victory, and this is the one you win this crosstown game. You don't even care if you win another game the rest of the season. They've got bragging rights, at least in the city for right now, and this hopefully will springboard them to bigger and better things. And as Larkin goes, they didn't play a bad game. He saw a lot of good things, but they certainly will want to bounce back from this. They'll get another opportunity in conference play. It'll count for them a little bit later on, a little more importance for them. And, yeah, a little frustrating now, but you know what? You learn so much more from a loss sometimes than you do from a win. But a great game from our standpoint, from a fan standpoint, and you know, what a great way to start off our season.
No question about it. Their Comcast Game 1 of 2005, a thriller, 68-66 your final. Elgin beats Larkin. So for Steve Moga, for Mark Kruger, for Statman Extraordinaire, Mr. Nick Pinto, for our producer-director tonight, Mr. Anthony Bourdignon, and our entire Comcast production team, this is Perry Williams saying thank you so much for watching, and so long, everybody.